Rob, and I made myself a little virtual Visual Pinball controller. There's really nothing like this on the market that lets you control these Visual Pinball games with the actual correct buttons, a plunger, and a couple flipper buttons. This was pretty easy to do and cheap, less than $100. I used an old Pelican case I had. I didn't really try to make it pretty, although it looks fine with the laptop sitting on top of it. And this is basically what you got here. Let's see if I can get it with no shadow. Alright, so 2 flipper buttons, of course, one on either side. I've got a little Bluetooth speaker with a line-in cable to make the sound a little bit more realistic. I found a guy on eBay that makes these. They're the regular arcade button, but it's playing. Anyway, I'll wait till it finishes. There we go. It's the regular arcade button, but he modifies it to become a plunger. And then what you do is you wire it up backwards. So with these, I don't know if you can see it. There you go. These you wire up with the 2 terminals closest to each other. The bottom's the ground, and the next one up is the hot terminal. On the back of this pinball plunger terminal, you do it the other way. So you leave that one terminal loose in the middle. You wire the top one and the ground, and it works opposite. So obviously if you press this, that's going to make the contact and move the flipper. See it with the little plunger touches the contact. With this, it's the opposite. It's always on, but when you pull it out, then that's when you're making the contact with the key. In this case, it's the enter key, and you can, of course, do all this on the keyboard, but it's way funner to have these kind of controls here on the box. And yeah, the laptop just sits on up there. A couple cables, USB cable for the, oh, I didn't even show you the controller. USB for the controller, and a 3.5 output for the audio. The controller is, of course, from Ultimarc. This is the iPack 4, and it's already mapped out for the keyboard, all the keys you need, so you don't have to go in there and do any programming or anything. Got a USB out. I twisted together a couple of the grounds here for one of the ground lugs here. There are 2 ground lugs at the end there, ground and ground. And then you can find the pinouts on these. It's pretty easy, but you've got the pinouts for the 2 flipper buttons, one on either side, of course. That one goes that way. That one goes to the plunger. This one goes out to that flipper button. Like I said, you can find the pinouts for the Ultimarc iPack 4, which is where this is, about $70. And just screw them down, and that's it. They just work. No programming, no nothing you have to do at all. And then this just sits nicely on top here on this Pelican case, and you can play pinball to your heart's desire. There we go. I'll try this flipper button. It's so hard to do more than one flipper when you're filming. But anyway, you get the idea. And oh, almost. And there you go. And then when you want to pack it in, pull your cables, get rid of your laptop. I throw those in there, close it up, the latches still work, and I got myself a little portable pinball controller. Pretty cool. Like I said, there's really nothing like it on the market that you can buy. You gotta make it yourself. I could add the buttons for the coin drop or whatever, which is 5, and start game, which is 1. I could put a couple more buttons here or whatever, but it's easy enough to do it on the keyboard, and thankfully your keyboard controls all work alongside your actual arcade controls. So when you want to put your high score in or whatever, sometimes it's just easier to use your shift key and your enter key or whatever. You don't have to do it on the, whatever, the plunger and the flipper buttons. So the keyboard works simultaneously with the arcade buttons, and you got yourself a little visual or virtual pinball controller. All right, that's my fun project for today. Later.